What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing another of the squad comparison videos. These videos are doing so well. Like, it is actually crazy. Like, I'm going to just start doing a lot more like cheap versus expensive comparison videos because you guys seem to really enjoy them, and they're actually things that I like to make. They're the videos, well, videos I like to make showing like the difference between cheap and expensive cards, tiers, the difference between players with certain overalls, the difference that things like height makes, things like Hall of Fame badges make, and yeah, so these are videos that I really like making, and thankfully enough, they seem to be videos you guys enjoy watching as well. So now we are going to get on to the squad that we are making. So in this video, we are going to be doing the best cheap diamonds versus the most expensive diamonds. And that is obviously at each position. So we're going to be doing one point guard, one two guard, one small forward, one power forward, and one center, and same on the bench. So basically what we're going to be doing is our starting five is going to be who I believe is the best cheap point guard, shooting guard, obviously at each position. And off the bench, we have got the most expensive. And every player in this team is going to be a diamond tier. So let's start off with the most expensive because we can go over this squad quite quickly because there's not really much of a debate. They're just kind of looking at prices. So the most expensive point guard is actually not the card I use. So the most expensive point guard is this guy right here. If you go to Moments and Warriors, it is the Stephen Curry diamond. And unfortunately, there is none of him for up with less than 6 hours to go. So the card we have to use the second most expensive diamond, the second most expensive diamond point guard, and that is genuinely the other diamond Steph Curry. I'm not even joking. Like, there's a few that are quite close, but like John Wall, Steve Francis, the next most expensive diamond point guard is the other diamond Steph Curry. At the two guard position, it is not even a close. Actually, no, Clay is about 100k less than this guy, but it's not even close. It's Tracy McGrady. Steph Curry is around 70 kmt. T-Mac is around 200-ish kmt, maybe more, closer to 250 kmt. I'm not entirely sure. There's still about 20 minutes left on his last auction. Small forward position. This one's obvious. I remember I was thinking, I was like, oh, could this be someone like a, what's his name, Jason Tatum? And then I completely forgot that this card existed. It's Danny Granger, who's about 400-ish kmt. Base 11 shooter, incredibly expensive. At the power forward position, this is again another one where there's a load of cards around the same price, around a 60-ish kmt. And there are none anywhere near 100 kmt, none of the diamond ones anyway. But the most expensive from what I could see was Josh Smith, his diamond card. Josh Smith's diamond's around 60 kmt. Really nice, just overall player, can dunk well, shoots well, defends really well, and is basically Sean Marion but he can speed boost. That is essentially what he is. He's essentially the exact same card as Marion, except he's speed boost and Marion doesn't. At the center position, this is another one that's really obvious. There's actually a good few centers over 100k. Zydrunas Ilgauskas is quite close to being, well, actually, no, he's not quite close. This guy's about 400k. Zydrunas Ilgauskas is about 200k. But Arvydas Sabonis is about 400k MT. By far the best center in my team right now, if you don't count Pink Diamond, or sorry, Galaxy Opal Wilt, and is extremely expensive. So these guys are about 60-ish kmt, about 250k, 400k, about 60k as well, and about 400k. So overall, it is over 1 million MT on the bench. And now we're going to go over the best value. So at the, well, sorry, the best cheap ones, not really the best value. So at the point guard position, there's a lot of good cheap cards, and a lot of people would kind of be hoping I'd use something like a Kemba, like a Jamal Murray. Without doubt, in my opinion, the best cheap point guard is Gilbert Arenas. This card is money. I really like Gilbert Arenas, I really like his release, and I think he's actually a really nice card. At the two guard, we have got, there's not that many really nice diamond two guards. I don't like Vince Carter. Hamidou Diallo, Sloan of release. Ray Allen is a little bit too expensive to be considered really cheap, so I'm going to go with Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy, really nice release in my opinion. Good shooter, good dunker, and overall just a really nice card. Defensively, leaves a little bit to be desired, but hey, you can't have everything, especially for a cheap card. At the small forward position, this one was literally between two players. So even though you might consider Sky to be cheap, around 50 kmt, I wouldn't really consider that to be in the price range I'm looking at for this video. But it was between Gordon Hayward and Kawhi Leonard. And actually, Sean Marion wasn't too far off, but I think his release is just a little bit off. That puts him a little bit behind Gordon Hayward and Leonard. So we've got Hayward, who's the better offensive player. Kawhi is the better defensive player. And I don't know, I just have more success with Kawhi Leonard, so I put him in the squad. With the power forward position, again, there's a lot that you can use. You can use basically any diamond power forward. They're all moderately cheap. Like even like Leitner is like 35, 40 KMT. Bob Love is maybe a little bit more expensive. Billy Cunningham, if you could just play people out of position, Billy Cunningham would be in this squad. I like the point guard or the 2 because he's money. But Julius Randle is a beast in my opinion. Randle, really nice card. He can, the only thing that's wrong with this card is that he's got a 30 free throw. But he didn't actually go to free throw line, so I was happy. He's got a good post that can fade away, good shot mid, decent shot 3, really nice release, so if he is open, he'll knock him down. Good dunk. If you give him any even bronze shoe, he can speed boost. He's also got a good block and shot contest, good enough steal rating, decent speed, sweep ball and acceleration, decent lateral quickness, and in general is a card that plays above his stats. And at the center position, we are going to go with a guy who's a little bit, I think he might be a little bit too expensive for this squad. Looking back at it, he might be. If you're looking for really cheap, Emeka Okafor is an alright player to go with. But just for the comparison video, I wanted to use someone that I think could almost compare to a Sabonis, and I used Karl Anthony Towns. As far as I know, Karl Anthony Towns is in and around the 35-ish KMT, but he may have gone up, he may have gone down recently enough. I just didn't see I just forgot to check his price when making the squad. The last time I did make a squad, he was around 35 KMT. So anyway, yep. This top is the best cheap diamond squad. The bottom is the best, the most expensive diamond squad. So anyway, now we are going to go over the highlights for the game. Then we are going to get on to the comparison. So just like all the videos, we are going to be comparing them in 5 different categories. The first one is rebounding, second one's defense, then we are going to be doing shooting, team offense, and star power. So we're going to start off with rebounding, and honestly, this one was a surprise because they match up almost evenly. They do. But the bench is a little bit taller than the starters, so I expect the bench to do a bit more. But these 2 guys cleaned up. Karl Anthony Towns and Julius Randle, in all of the games, cleaned up a lot more than I felt Josh Smith and Sabonis did. So surprisingly enough, I'm going to have to give rebounding to the best cheap diamonds. And now we are on to defense. Defensively, again, this one is moderately close. Sabonis is a better defender than Cat. Smith's a better defender than Randle. Kawhi is the best defender in any of the teams, but Granger isn't that bad. Out of Roy and T-Mac, T-Mac's better, and Gilbert Arenas is a better defender than Steph. So, by 3-2, it is the the most expensive diamonds. They did feel a little bit better on defense. Now we are on to shooting. This one is a really close one, because I feel Gilbert Arenas is a better shooter than Steph Curry, because I much prefer Gilbert Arenas' base 11 release. Brandon Roy and T-Mac, when they're wide open, Brandon Roy is better, but Hall of Fame minimalist is big on Tracy McGrady. The best shooter in all the teams is Granger. Randle, because of his release, is probably slightly better shooter than Smith, and Sabonis is definitely a better shooter than Karl Anthony Towns. The team that I hit the most jump shots with were without doubt the most expensive diamonds, so I'm going to have to give the slight edge to that team, but only very slightly. This best cheap diamonds shot really well. So now we are on to team offense. So team offense, again, this one was a really tight one because both these teams are built almost identical. Both of them are pick your poison, but the thing is that you've got 2 more limitless range shooters, meaning you have to guard these guys from out further. You've got a Hall of Fame Dimer center in Arvydas Sabonis, who when hitting people on the break with Hall of Fame Dimer passes means they hit a higher percentage of shots. And you've also got a base 11 shooter in Danny Granger. And Josh Smith and Julius Randle match up very evenly. So I gotta just for pick your poison, the fact that there's no real way of, well, it's very difficult to stop these guys in the bench. I'm gonna have to say the best, or say the most expensive diamond. I think I've called them best at least 4 times. The most expensive diamond squad wins out this one. And last up is the star power. So for the team up top, the best cheap diamonds, the player that I had the most success with was Julius Randle. I was playing against a few on-ballers, and he's got really nice dribble moves, especially when you give him that shoe for +2 ball control. And he just completely took over some of the games. However, in the longest game at the end, really struggled a bit. And in that game, it was kind of just team offense, but when we were taking over someone, it was Julius Randle. On the bench, to be honest, I didn't really take over with anyone. Granger, I think, has the ability to do it because he's got great release with base 11. T-Mac with limitless range can burn people. But to be completely honest, based on this video, based on using these cards specifically for these couple of games, I'm going to have to give star power to Julius Randle, which is a crazy thing that I have to say. But yeah, Julius Randle for star power has the ability to put up points just by himself over these 2 guys. But yeah, so that is the video. The winning team is, by not that much, the most expensive diamonds. Honestly, I do think the most expensive diamonds is the better team. Like, these 5 are definitely better than the 5 up top. But honestly, I think it's by very, very little. And in the game, I actually had a higher plus minus with the top team, but that doesn't obviously mean everything. It honestly shows that MT isn't everything, with the guys in the bottom costing 1 million MT, and the guys at the top between them all costing about somewhere between 100 and 150,000 MT, where compared to over 1 million. So, like, even though there is definitely a difference, I don't think there's enough of a difference to justify spending so much MT on these most expensive diamonds. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.